So when we start looking at alkenes, this is us coming off alkanes. What makes an alkene different from an alkane? So how are alkenes different alkanes? Now, well, very simply, alkenes have a carbon-carbon double bond. We've seen that before, we'll say it again. Alkenes have a carbon-carbon double bond, which means at least one carbon-carbon double bonds, and they are called unsaturated. This is coming off from knowing that alkanes we just did are called saturated hydrocarbons, meaning all carbon-carbon bonds are single, and their effects properties, therefore they are generally unreactive. That's why they have what we call substitution reactions. And all of properties of alkenes that we're going to study today, the one with an E, is the fact that they have at least one carbon-carbon double bond. At least one. Now, you actually end up doing multiple double bonds in A levels. In all O levels in IGCSE, you just are going to say they have a carbon-carbon double bond. They are saturated, so they are full. These are unsaturated, therefore that makes them more reactive. That makes them also undergo addition reactions. And so those are the properties that will set alkenes apart. And that, by the way, that one feature describes everything about an alkene. What? That carbon-carbon double bond. Because of that, they're called unsaturated, and because of that, they can be reactive. Now, generally, we are going to for the what's the full definition for an alkene? Okay, so if you were to ask somebody, define an alkene. What's an alkene? Alkene is an unsaturated hydrocarbon. If somebody has to define unsaturated, that means at least, I've written that before, I'm writing it again so we do not forget, at least one carbon-carbon double bond. So they have carbon, hydrogen, and a carbon-carbon double bond. Now, they also have a general formula. When alkanes with the A have a general formula CnH2n plus 2, alkenes have a general formula of CnH2n. When it says general formula, it means generally it's that formula. It doesn't mean it'll always be that formula, but for you guys, you can think of it like almost always is that formula. Okay? And the formula helps us classify compounds as alkanes or alkenes. So, as a quick exercise, I'll do a few and then I'm going to ask you to do a few. If I can just look at these guys and figure out if they are alkanes or alkenes. Let's look at these four. How does one figure out if they're alkanes or alkenes? Well, we talked about an alkane has a general formula CnH2n plus 2. Now what I want you to focus on is, what does it mean to be 2n plus 2? It simply means that there are 2 extra hydrogens other than twicing as many carbons. So 2n plus 2, 2n plus 2. An alkene is just CnH2n, meaning the carbon to hydrogen ratio is 1:2. So the easiest trick is, if the carbon to hydrogen ratio is 1:2, it's an alkene. And in an alkane, the ratio, by the way, is 1:2, or basically n:2n. So n:2n plus 2. What it means is it's more than 2. It's 1:2 more than 2. That's the easiest way to spot it. So that's how I always spot it, because there's nothing else there. So if C is 2 right here, twice of that is 4. And this is more than 4, which means this is an alkane. If C is 3 times 2 is 6. That's an alkene. If C is 4 times 2 is 8. What does that make this? It's an alkene because 4 is to 8 is 1 is to 2. If it's 1 is to 2, it will be an alkene. Yeah. All right. Thank you. C5H12. What does that look like to you? 5, twice of 5 is 10. This is more than 2. So it's an alkane. And that's so easily you can figure it out. Let's say I give you C8H. Let's say I give you C8H18. Tell me. Alkane or alkene. C8H18. This one. This one's an alkane. Because twice of 8 is 16. By the way, this is what we call octane in your car. This is the one that has gone up in price. So, so looking at formula, you can figure it out, right? So if I give you something really big like, let's say C16H32. A really big guy also exists. What is it? What type is it? Is it an alkane or an alkene? This, ladies and gentlemen, is an alkene. All right. Now, once you've figured that out, the next thing we are going to be taking a look at is... Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the carbon-carbon double bond as a functional group. Okay, so let's make an alkene. Let's take the simplest alkene. They have a carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, this is one way to draw an alkene. Some books draw the same alkene this way. For you guys at your grade level, it really doesn't matter how you draw it. This is ethene. Now, why did I draw it? This fellow, I'm circling carbon-carbon double bond. This fellow is what? Is the functional group. Now in chemistry, when I say functional group, basically what I mean in organic chemistry is this is the place where the reactions take place, or the site of reaction, the spot at which reaction takes place. And the way this works is, and if you understand that, you understand alkenes all the way through life, is that the way this works, and if I take, for example, the fellow on the the top left, okay, so I'm gonna take this fellow down and show you the way they react. So in any reaction, the addition reaction that alkenes are looking for are, and I'll duplicate that so you know I'm taking the same fellow, is that I'll erase the site, and what happens is this double bond breaks up. So have a look at the highlighted region. I'm going to highlight it now with blue. See? That region. Okay, wait a second. So I got to delete that. So what I was saying was that carbon-carbon double bond opens up into a single bond. But since carbon has to make 4 bonds, remember, carbon has to make 4 bonds, then you got a new bond coming there, and I actually show it to you. Right there and right there. So what happens is, in all organic chemistry for alkenes, what really is happening is, this is an addition reaction. A double bond opens up and 2 new single bonds are made. And 2 new atoms are attached to it. Atom 1, atom 2. Could be hydrogen, could be chlorine, could be bromine, could be hydrogen, oxygen, could be many, many things. You only study a few in your level exam, but there are so many things. Okay. Now, so every reaction of alkenes happens at this functional group site. It is the weak point. It is where that makes, in fact, that is what makes it less stable. Basically, this is an unstable or reactive part of an alkene. Think of it like that. And it wants to react, but the only way it can react is through addition reaction. And what does addition mean? That the double bond breaks, becomes a single bond, and each carbon has to fulfill, remember, 4 bonds. Here there were 4, single, single, double. Now it becomes 4 single bonds. And if you get this, you will get all of organic alkenes. Now, alkenes and alkanes are both hydrocarbons, but it's the alkane with the A is unreactive. Alkene with an E is unreactive because there is a carbon-carbon double bond, which wants to become a carbon-carbon single bond. It goes from being unsaturated, that's the idea, because they're carbon-carbon double bonds, to being saturated. Alright? So, under the double bond, this is unsaturated, unstable, or reactive. So what I've written here is, let me repeat, clean that up, is reactive, unstable or reactive. Okay. So I saw an addition reaction. So we saw an addition reaction. So what is an addition reaction? Addition reaction really is 2 things. So 2 molecules become 1 product. That's addition. And it goes from being unsaturated to being saturated, which means there's a carbon-carbon double bond and there is no carbon-carbon double bond. So when somebody says, hey, in organic chemistry, it's an addition reaction, you know all of these things is what's happening. That a carbon-carbon double bond is breaking up into single bonds, 2 molecules becoming 1, unsaturated becomes saturated, and the double bond is gone. Okay, so remember this. What's an addition reaction? It has all these 4 features. You got to remember this. All right. So alkenes are a homologous series. We will do polymerization later, and they'll also undergo addition polymerization. But alkenes are a homologous series because they have a functional group, carbon-carbon double bond, and their general formula is CnH2n. So what is the functional group series of alkenes? Ethene, which is C2H4. And then we have C3H6, which is propene. We have C4H8. We have C5H10. Ethene, propene, butene. You can also have pentene. And every member differs by a CH2 group. CH2 group. CH2 group. So this is what a homologous series by definition is. General formula CnH2n. This is the alkene series, homologous series. Alright. So a quick fire true and false. Think in your head if you have to. Alkenes are saturated. True or false? False. The general formula of an alkene is CnH2n. That's true. Third, alkenes are less reactive than alkanes because of the double bond. False, because alkenes are actually more reactive because they have a carbon-carbon double bond. The next, addition reactions convert saturated to unsaturated. False, because they convert unsaturated to saturated. Alkenes only contain carbon hydrogen. And that one is absolutely true. Okay, so that's good. That's good. If you got those right, you are awesome. almost as awesome as me, if I must say so. And if I don't say it, you can say it to yourselves, because you know what? You all better love yourselves. If you don't love yourselves, who else will? Now, we're going to talk about identifying alkenes. Okay? We've done identifying alkenes. We've done this. We've been given a general formula. If it fits the general formula CnH2n, we can identify it. If it's more than 1:2 ratio, it's not an alkene. Now, remember, please, okay, sometimes, okay, it's not like all only alkenes are CnH2n. There are some alkanes that you will study later that are also CnH2n. Okay. But if they do that, then it'll be a cyclic compound. But that's A levels, not your level. Now, where alkenes and alkanes or any organic compound, only the very small ones are gases. Okay? If you're wondering, are they all gases? No, they're not all gases. As they get larger, and let's understand why. If I increase the number of carbon atoms, let's say in this list, as the number of carbon atoms increase, what happens? The number of electrons increase, which means van der Waals, and if you remember van der Waals, forces become stronger. And when van der Waals forces become stronger, what happens to the boiling point? Boiling point and melting point increases, which means they go from gas to liquid to really big ones being solids, which is what deposits in your hearts and can give you good heart attack. Animal fat is a solid. Why? Because it has the most number of carbon atoms. Petrol is a liquid, has 8, 10, 12 carbon atoms. Methane, or the gases that you guys pass, are gases because they have 1 carbon or 2 maximum. So, where fewer carbons mean fewer electrons, mean weaker van der Waals forces, mean lower boiling point, which in the end means gases. Okay? Alright. So that ends the first part. Just the basics of alkenes.